Okay. Obviously, credit goes to Oregon for making us be very uncharacteristic, specifically the last 8 minutes or so. I thought we, for even most of the second half, we were not nearly as aggressive as we have been, even what we were in the first half. I mean, the stats bear it out. When you don't shoot any free throws, you have 17 turnovers, 11 in the second half. You turn the ball over like that when it's a lack of aggression. It's a tentativeness that I thought we didn't play on our toes and keep the throttle down like we had in the first half. And again, that's credit to Oregon. We didn't attack the pressure. We got us to walk the ball up and play slower. So we'll learn from this and we'll quickly turn the page for Tuesday night. But obviously, really disappointed in the last, most of the second half, but specifically the last 6-7 minutes.
Michael?
A lot of the turnovers towards the end of the game were discipline based. I guess when a team this old and experienced doesn't really know, what does that mean to you?
It's a lack. I mean, some of them were just simply catch the ball, right? And then again, when I watch so many guys catch the ball and not look at the rim, not be ready to shoot the ball. And again, when you play tentative, and you're not in your attack aggressive mindset like we have been for a long time, then you have a tendency to, you have a tendency to fumble and bumble and throw the ball where you shouldn't throw it, throw the ball that somebody's not ready for it. Those things start adding up. So I think it was all on us. So those are the things we can't get into being a tentative, non-aggressive team. We're really good when we are aggressive, and obviously we stink when we're not.
Mark, go ahead.
Greg, at the end of regulation, you were up 3. I think in times past you tried to foul in that situation. Were you trying to there, or what was?
We were going to if it got a little lower. With 18 seconds on the clock. So at one point, we were going to, but he went to pull it almost from the logo. John's got to be up into him more, and we talked about if we see that situation happening, we'll take a foul. But it's a little early to do it with 18. We talked about it even at 27 earlier, but credit Shellstead for he's made those shots before. I've seen 10 of those, and I've seen 1 on film. So it wasn't hard. I mean, that stands out. But I think it's 77 points on 76 possessions, and it's the offensive execution that completely dried up. And we shouldn't have been in that situation. But we got what we deserved, and we got to learn from it and move on.
Jim?
Great, following the Shellstead 3-pointer, you got a chance to call timeout there. I know you go back and forth with that, but sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Can you kind of take us through your thought process there?
Yeah, I did. We were coming downhill. They're a team that has a tendency to change defenses coming out of timeouts, traps coming out of timeouts. So with a tie game, I was going to let it play out, and then also we're not the bonus. So if they get a chance to go reset and use fouls, I didn't want them to have that timeout to talk about that stuff. So combination of things is why I decided not to do it.
Donnie, right up front here, please. Mike?
Like late in the second half, like when you're in a moment when the team isn't, when offense is pretty hard, why not just give it to Tanji more? Given the game that he was having at the end, like Klesman had a shot at the end there, Blackwell. Like, was there debate about just give it to Tanji and let him?
Tanji had a lot. I mean, 20 shots is pretty inefficient. So, he took a lot of tough shots. I thought Bamba did a much better job on him in the second half. It was physical, wouldn't let him get daylight. We tried to run some stuff and free him up off things, but Bamba was pretty well locked into him. And then when we did get to the rim, you got Biddle in there too. That was a factor at the rim. So, everybody can obviously second guess it, but John had 20 shots. So the key with John is you need to get the free throw line more. And he only shoots 2, and those were obviously the first half. Because all of ours were. I thought we settled for too many things at times, and we got him taking tougher shots, and then we got 4s and 5s that are turning down shots. So, and that puts the pressure back on John to have to take a tougher shot when the rest of us aren't as aggressive as we need to be.
Coach, first half, it seemed like you guys did a good job against Biddle, forcing those 3 fouls. When you talk about aggressiveness, is that kind of where you're pointing to in the second half, trying to get, go against him a little more, get more fouls on him, or what are you kind of pointing to with that aggressiveness?
Well, it's how when they extended some pressure in the last 6-7 minutes that we stood and looked at it. We broke it a couple times. McGee got loose for a layup. We took that. But we needed to do that more rather than walk the ball up and let the clock eat or get ourselves trapped. And then when we did break it, if we have an advantage, 4-on-2 or 3-on-2 or whatever it is, we need to play into it more. So that's part of the aggressiveness. Obviously, they went to double Steve in the second half more, so they were forcing the ball out, so he wasn't caught in as many, or didn't have himself in as many one-on-ones like he did in the first half. So, and then coming down the stretch, they went to Biddle and he delivered. He made plays. So the aggressiveness in terms of just, like I said, we got way too tentative and hesitant. So that's something we'll have to, we've already talked about it, and we'll watch the film and correct the things and point out the things that where we can be more aggressive and why we need, they know why. They need to, we'll see it on film.
Greg, point blank, how do you process this and move forward after a game like this?
Well, you gotta turn the page. We will come back and practice and everything tomorrow and prep for Washington. You can't sit here and feel sorry for yourself. It doesn't sit well with everybody, and because, we beat ourselves, for the most part, and, we haven't done that. I don't know if we've done that all year. So, to be able to rebound and bounce back, and fortunately this isn't like football where you have to sit 7 days, wait for your next game. We're gonna play again on Tuesday night and get it out of our system and get improve the areas that we need to improve.
And one more for Coach.
Jared, you mentioned Biddle, he got some pretty deep touches, and some of that maybe is on Steve and Nate, and some of it on ball pressure. Was it a little bit of everything going wrong there?
A little bit. We're trying to stay attached with shooters too and not give up the kick out threes. They went to him obviously in that left block area for the most part. We talked about ball pressure in the first half. I'll watch through the film and see what it was, in the second half. But the jump hooks he made, that's his strength at that size, and be able to get that off. A little bit of pick your poison with that, but again, what got us in trouble was the completely kind of taking our foot off the gas offensively for whatever reason.
Thank you,
Good.
Coach.
All right.